I got some bad news.
What?
Veggie Tales is racist.
This is news?
This just in. Whiteness Forum denounces the Christian cartoon Veggie Tales as racist.
Wait a minute. Whiteness Forum?
A Whiteness Forum, not the Whiteness Forum. A forum on whiteness.
Okay.
Apparently, this was the Daily Wire. Apparently, as the Christian cartoon Veggie Tales was teaching children about the Bible, it was also secretly teaching them to hate people of color.
Really?
According to the College Fix, that's a thing, I don't know, a website or something, Cal State San Marcos held a so-called Whiteness Forum last Thursday where a variety of topics pertaining to American systemic racism was discussed. The 2-hour event featured more than a dozen poster board projects critiquing various aspects of society. On top of lambasting the NFL and white women for perpetuating racism, the cartoon...
Which is all white women?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
The cartoon where talking vegetables perform biblical stories for children somehow found its way into the discussion, with speakers alleging it portrays racial stereotypes.
Like French peas.
The Christian cartoon this is a quote from the College Fix. The Christian cartoon Veggie Tales is racist because the villains are vegetables of color.
Okay, hold on.
The villains
They're not blanched vegetables?
Villains are vegetable, and the vegetables of color are always the healthiest vegetables. They have the most nutrients.
That's right.
Right? The darker your leaf.
Yeah, you want dark green leafy vegetables.
yeah.
That's what my doctor always says.
Yeah. A female student who worked on the forum told the College Fix that the villains in Veggie Tales have ethnic accents, such as Latino, while the heroic characters sound white.
Okay, wait a minute.
When kids see the good white character triumph over the bad person of color character, they are taught that white is right and minorities are the source of evil. The makers of the project appear to have neglected the fact that the show preaches biblical principles, which would therefore make Satan the source of evil. Another project also denounced the NFL as a racist institution that exploits the talents of mostly black athletes for rich white owners. Another said that white women perpetuate racism in America by supporting President Trump. So we're in good company with the NFL and white women.
Are you sure?
No, probably not.
Okay, well, answer the critique. What do you think?
Answer the critique. Oh, I've heard it before. Mr. Lunt is not a bad guy. He played a bad guy in his first appearance because I needed a gangster sidekick, and I based his voice off the weasels from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So he was supposed to be a gangster's sidekick. Kind of a, hey, boss.
Yeah.
You know, what are we going to do? That's how he was born. He was born as a gangster's sidekick, which is why he had the hat and the gold tooth.
But it does sound vaguely Italian.
Yes, he was supposed to be somewhere in the direction of Italian Latino-ish, just vague. And then as the years progressed, the Latino side of his accent was much more fun to play in than the Italian side. So he became more...
And he's not always a bad guy.
He's not. No, he's just one of the troupe. He's
right.
part of the troupe, and he was a villain in his first big role because he was a gangster's sidekick. The other one that's gotten criticism is Mr. Nezer.
Yeah.
The voice was based on the Oogie Boogie Man from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. I can't pull that reference into my head.
Yeah, okay. He's the villain in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
And he talks like this. He says, what are you going to do? I'm going to do my best. He's a guy who wants to kill Santa Claus. Okay. Is he a black character in The Nightmare Before Christmas, you ask? Why, no, Sky. He's a bag filled with worms.
Oh, I remember that
He's
guy.
a bag of worms.
Okay.
But...
So then you could say that Tim Burton is racist.
Yeah, for making the villain have a blackish sounding voice.
Uh-huh.
So that character was performed by a black voiceover actor, and I guess there's actually a name for that style of vocalization from black entertainment of the past, which I was completely unaware of. So DreamWorks refused to use Mr. Nezer in their version of Veggie Tales. They killed off the character and made a new kind of Nezer-like character who is obviously white. So we lost some of the diversity of Veggie Tales.
But you gained a white villain.
But he wasn't even Mr. Nezer has been a villain a couple times, but he's just a member of the troupe.
Do you think the critique is not so much that the villains are racial minorities as much that Bob and Larry are clearly white characters?
Yeah, it's Bob and Larry are Mike and I. Yeah.
And you guys are white?
I'm pretty sure. Mike
Okay.
has, I believe, a tiny bit of Native American blood in him, but a tiny bit.
Yeah, just like...
That's why I call him Pocahontas.
Oh, gosh. I knew this was going to go somewhere bad. Yeah, you're not
I'm
racist.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't call him that. That was a
Okay, so
joke.
Mr. Nezer could be understood to have an African-American voice.
Yeah.
Mr. Lunt could be understood to have a Latino voice.
But you know who's been villains more than that? It's the three wise men. It's the three wise guys. They were three wise men in the first show. They were three bandits in the second show. They were three scallions in numerous shows. They almost always play bad guys, and the lead guy is British.
Right, that's what I was going to come back to, was that you usually use British accents.
And then there's the French Peas,
Right.
who were villains in show 5.
And I've always assumed that was a playoff of Monty Python.
It was, right. So
Yeah.
so when you say, oh, so are you saying the French are bad? And saying, no, it was a Monty Python riff.
Right.
And if you say, oh, you're saying black people are bad? It's like, I wasn't even thinking about that. It was Oogie Boogie. It was the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, you're saying Latinos are bad? No, I was doing the weasels from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because Mike and I do all the voices, and we can only do so many voices that aren't some kind of a stereotype.
But you can say the British are bad.
And you can actually, most of the time, you can get away saying the French are bad, because that's kind of part of our
Well, the
our
French or the
heritage.
British, they're imperialists.
Yeah,
right? So
they're
you can-
they're colonialists, so they're evil,
Right.
like us, like you and me, Sky.
What are you talking like you and me?
Like you and me, your Indian heritage.
Indian, yeah, the victims
They
of
oppressed
colonialism.
someone. Everyone oppressed someone.
Oh.
You were the oppressor until someone bigger showed up on your block, and then you became the oppressed, and that's true for everyone.
Well, what do I do with the fact that my mother is European and my father is Indian?
What do you do with that fact?
I mean, am I oppressing myself?
I don't know what
my
you're
chromosomes in
doing. I
a
don't know what
constant
you're
battle
doing,
for
Sky.
supremacy?
I have no idea.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. A
Yeah.
child grows up watching Veggie Tales. Do they come away net more racist or net more loving their neighbor?
I don't have a clue. I'm certainly going to hope for the latter, is what I'm going to hope for.
I think
Because
you are solely responsible for the racist problems in America today.
Mr. Nezer has had, and Mr. Lunt have had many, many positive roles, because they're just members of the troupe.
Right.
You know, it's like the Muppets.
And there have
It's a
been
troupe
plenty of cases
actors.
where Bob and or Larry have been the problem.
Oh, yeah, they're usually the problem.
Well, yeah, they're always the problem.
have
But
to
they
learn
can
the
also,
lesson.
right.
Yeah, so then you move on to what's in the Bible, and people have criticized because too many of the puppets are white. You know, too many of the puppets are white. I have one black puppet. And the reason I have one black puppet is because I do all the voices. And me doing realistic African-American voices without falling into terrible, terrible characterizations and stereotypes is just not a good idea.
Wait a minute, though. Isn't the monkey Indian? Isn't that a stereotype?
Yeah. The monkey, yeah, he was only in one show. The monkey is Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and then some people said, oh, you know, that's actually an insult for Indian peoples to call them monkeys. And I, wait, what? I've never heard that. Crap, I've walked into it again.
So how do you create a completely PC children's...
Everyone talks the
Media
same, but
products.
they're all different colors. They talk exactly the same, but they're all different colors.
But if they all talk exactly the same, you got to pick an accent,
Yes.
which is going to upset...
Neutral, a.k.a. white.
Oh.
That's what people do.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know.
But that's not right either. 'cause
No,
then you
it's
have,
not.
But then you have no people of...
So you could have someone with, but here's the problem, especially if you're trying to write comedy. Okay, when you bring in a clear portrayal of a minority. Okay, this character is Indian. You know, this character is Japanese.
But you make fun of them.
They can't be funny.
Right.
Because if they're funny, it's a negative stereotype. So
Right.
that's not what we want to see. We want to see an accurate, healthy portrayal of our, you know, particular ethnicity. Then where's the comedy come from? If everyone has
then-
to be healthy.
Then only white people can be made fun of.
And British and French, yeah, some form of whiteness.